You just have to learn as you go and fix as you go. That's it. But every time, just make it better. Just make it better. Just make it better. Just make it better. Hey, also Nitro RC Nerds here. I've had a few folks reach out and ask if we would do another video concerning our current projects and where we're at. And yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely happy to do that because I'm happy to talk Nitro RC anytime, any place. As I go through this video, if any of you have suggestions for some of the things I'm doing, please. It's all about learning, like I was telling Andrew in that preface. That, yeah, I mean, it's about learning and just fixing as you go. Nothing is cooler in the world, nothing is cooler in this hobby, to me at least, than finding where there's a weak area and then fixing it and just making it better. You do that enough, you're going to have some badass machines. On the flip side, if you see something on here that you would like me to make a video about, I'm more than happy to do that too, because it's all about giving back and helping. As an example, I've had a lot of people actually ask about doing a video on link setup. And you can, well, you'll see soon. I'm about to do one on my our Andrew's Loci 2.0. But anything you guys see that you want me to just kind of break down as I do it, I'm happy to do that as well. Anyways, enjoy the video. And pretty much the way this works is I try to set goals for myself at the beginning of the week on things that I want to accomplish and prioritize those. One of them is my Hot Bodies D8T. I posted a video earlier on my first attempt at trying to fix the steering slop on it. And I've had a few people, tell me, hey, my buggy does the same thing or my truggy does the same thing, but it's fine and I wouldn't worry about it. And that's cool. The thing is, though, it shouldn't behave like that. I built this thing and I built it not to have that sort of slop. The wheel on it, as I've mentioned a few times already, it's really, really bad. And I'm just not going to have it like that. So I'm going to fix it. The thing about this that's a little bit frustrating is, or I should just say time consuming, is I really don't know the results until I put it back together, try it if that doesn't work. And the way I'm doing this, I have all new parts to replace everything on it. But what I want to do is one thing at a time, because I need to figure out exactly what it is. Because once I figure out what it is, then I'm going to upgrade it and make it better so that it doesn't happen again. So this one is definitely put, what I thought would be a fast project has put me behind for my other projects, but that's the nature of the game. For Andrew's Loci 2.0, really the only pressing need is I want to rebuild this link setup on it. You can see it's a bit loose here and even in this area right here. So I got to figure out if it's the actuators or what's going on, but essentially I'm just going to take it off and just rebuild the entire thing on it. There's also a stripped grub screw that goes into the shaft on one of his wheels. I think it's this one right here, and it's stripped. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no meat left on it. It is stripped sideways to Sunday. So my thinking on it is I'm going to get an Allen key and put a little bit of JB weld on the end of it, pop it in there, let it fuse itself to the grub screw, and then hopefully turn it out. From there we'll see what sort of damage that has been incurred on any other parts, and I'll have to replace that. I also have a few upgraded parts coming, an aluminum steering plate as well as an aluminum steering bell crank. Additionally, I've been researching Loci's line of smart diffs, and I just need to think about which one I want to do first. I'm thinking probably the front diff. We'll see how he likes it, how that works for him. If he enjoys it and we see some really good improvement, then I'll go ahead and put the smart diffs in the center and the rear, but they're pretty expensive, so that's a good size investment. I'll get there eventually with it. It's just a matter of, when and are there any other areas that we need to look at improving first. As for the Mugen, everything on it's fine. Really the only thing I need to do is just clean these tires. I do want to keep an eye on a little bit on its performance in that I've noticed it's not handling the bumps that well at the track. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with my driving skills. And look, you know, I'm obviously not the best driver in the world, but I have driven a lot of different buggies and truggy and whatnot. So I understand and I can feel stiffness, you know, and whatnot, and how these things handle. You know, I may not be able to do a lot about it with respect to my driving, but I do understand what makes these things tick. So regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm just obviously need to get more consistent with it, and then I'm going to start looking at ways to tuning it to help it handle, soak up the bumps. Now for this thing right here, this is without a doubt the project that I'm most excited about, because the goal for it is very straightforward. I'm going to make this into the best low C810 that's out there anywhere. Now right now, it's in mint condition, or you could even say it's in better than mint condition. But that doesn't mean that I can't make it better. I was able to fit a hump pack in it, a 6 volt, 14 milliamps hump pack, because that was an immediate need for it. But it's running like a champ right now. So hopefully, I would say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm just going to go ahead and do the rebuild on it. And I do mean rebuild. And these aren't even all my parts. These are just the ones that I could fit on here. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And for you 810 guys out there, I will do a video chronicling everything that I do to it. I'll also, it may be like a 20-parter though, so who knows, but I'll also do like a shortened video just kind of showing the highlights of what I've done. As for the Hyper 7, it's also running well, but I am going to rebuild it just because it needs it, and I want to inspect everything. The only immediate need right now is, if you look here, it just needs an aluminum servo horn. So there we go. The other immediate need is to put in a new Spectrum receiver for it so that I can run this with my DX3C, and that's simply because I don't like the stock transmitter that comes with this. And being the electrics idiot I am, I need to research a little bit. The one I'm looking at is the Spectrum, I think it's the SR201. The only thing, it does use DSM as its modulation, but it's a 2-channel, where all my other ones are 3-channel. I have no idea if that's going to affect it or not, but that's what I'm looking at. So if any of you know the answer, let me know. Other than that, I'll just have to research it some. So speaking of electrics, I have this thing right here. This was actually one of the first RC cars I got Andrew, at least a quote hobby grade car. Got him back in the day. This thing has probably not been running about 4 years. However, what I want to do is get it up and running. One of my neighbor's sons, he's about 4 years old. He's just infatuated with these RC cars, and every time I run it outside, he's out there and he loves it. He even came and watched Andrew race one time at our track. I mean, it just blew his mind. He was just standing there just like in heaven. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to get this up and running and go ahead and give it to him. And the thing I need to do is the battery on it, I'm pretty sure is dead. Problem is, I can easily get another battery for it, but I want to make sure that's what it is and it's not the motor or whatever. So long story short, what I'm going to do is Saturday, take it to my local hobby shop, introduce myself to the new guy there, and see if he can help me. Originally, when this new guy started and replaced my guy, who is the best at everything, I think, with respect to RC, I remember thinking, well, I hope the new guy is really good at Nitro. But I've rethought that, and actually I hope he's good at electrics, because that's where I need help. So anyways, we'll see. But hopefully by Saturday, I will at least know either if I need to buy a new battery, and it's like 20 bucks, or if I can if he has something up there that I can get on Saturday. As for my Savage here, it needs a new servo. Man, this is something that I should have had done a while back. The problem is, the U.S. Postal Service lost my package with the servo in. I was actually supposed to have the servo on May 9th, and it's not here. So A-Man Hobbies has been great. They've gone ahead and just chalked it up to a lost package. It's actually not lost. If you track it, it keeps going back to California, and then here in California, it's done it a few times, and it just keeps saying undeliverable is addressed. So who knows what's going on there. You know, and I hear people all the time making jokes about the U.S. Postal Service, and for all intents and purposes, I've always got my mail. I've never had a problem with them. But Lord have mercy on your soul if you ever have to deal with them. It is an absolute joke. So that's my rant about the Postal Service. Good Lord, it's unbelievable. Anyways, hopefully in the next few days, put the new servo on it. Also, I'm going to rebuild the servo saver on it because I think it's not acting like it should. So anyways, that's for the Savage. I haven't done anything to the Exceed Forza yet. Once again, I'm running behind because of the D8T. This also has a bit of an issue with the steering in it. I put an aluminum steering link in it, and the steering on it's really, really tight. So what I need to do is just go ahead and figure out what's going on in there. But this is actually my second priority after the D8T because I need to get this running. I want to be able to have it out there when we do some of our additional Battle of the RC car contests. So that's it. That's what we have going on. It may seem like a lot, and I guess it is. However, at the end of the day, there's always going to be something within this hobby, especially if you have these number of cars. And my son Andrew and I, we spoke at the beginning of the year. We decided instead of getting new vehicles, what we would do is just take the ones we have and make them into the baddest machines that are out there. So that's our focus right now.